Every day, 3.3 billion takeout containers become trash within minutes. In Indonesia alone, that's 7 million tons of plastic waste annually, styrofoam that outlives us by 500 years. In landfills, it leaches toxic styrene and benzene into groundwater for centuries. When burned, common practice across places, it releases dioxins and carbon monoxide, poisoning our air and causing respiratory disease. In ocean, it fragments into microplastics that enter the food chain, accumulating in the fish we eat. Styrofoam doesn't just stay a waste, it becomes poison. We try to fix it. We switch to biodegradable alternatives, paper, molded fiber, compostable plastics, but they still take 4 months to break down, cost more, and do nothing for the soil. We don't just need packaging that disappears. We need packaging that works even after life, that actively heals the planet, not just stops hurting it. I'm Miracle, and I witness this every single day, so this is why I created Afterlife. Afterlife is the world's first regenerative food packaging built on engineered biology. 3 layers, each with a purpose. First, a folded fiber base, recycled cellulose that forms a structure, heat stable to 90 degrees Celsius, FDA approved for food contact. Second, dormant mycelium. We use Pleurotherus fungal species cultivated on agricultural waste like corn stovers. We treat it at 80 degrees Celsius to induce dormancy. The mycelium stays alive, but its metabolism shuts down. Think of it as a biological pause, ready to reactivate when conditions are right. Third, a biopolymer coating, a PLA or biovax that creates a moisture barrier. This keeps the mycelium dormant during storage and use. The packaging industry is trapped in a red ocean. Styrofoam producers compete on price, racing to the bottom while generating 500-year waste. The solution? Eco-alternatives like molded fiber and PLA plastics have struggled, capturing under 5% of the $234 billion market despite decades of availability. Why? Because they take up to 120 days to compose, cost up to 40% more, perform worse than plastic, and still offer zero active environmental benefits. And they're just less bad, not actually good. Afterlife does not join the fight. We create Blue Ocean by being net positive. By the 4-action framework, eliminate styrene toxins and microplastics completely, reduce breakdown from 120 days to 30 while processing food waste simultaneously, raise performance to match plastic, heat resistance, leak-proof, shelf-stable, and create regenerative function, packaging that actively rebuilds soil while decomposing. And here's our strategy canvas. While competitors trade off performance and sustainability, Afterlife delivers both plus regeneration no one else offers. We do not compete with eco-friendly. We make the competition irrelevant. And of course, this is our strategy canvas where you can see the entire industry at a glance. The red line plastic high on convenience, performance, and cost efficiency, but catastrophic on environmental impact and health safety, scoring 0. The green line, eco-alternatives, they, yes, raise sustainability, but they've had to reduce performance, dramatically raise price, and they still scored 0 on regeneration because they only decompose, they don't give back. Now, watch the blue line, Afterlife. We eliminate the trade-off, match plastic on convenience and performance, beat eco-alternatives on cost through scalable partnerships, and we have created an entirely new access to regenerative value where we score 10 while everyone else scores 0. And this is not incremental improvement. This is fundamentally different value proposition, making it a blue ocean. Okay, moving on to the 3-tier frameworks. Our target is a $140 billion market, and food service operators seeking sustainable alternative. University with zero markets commitments, restaurants facing plastic bans in 36 US states and 170 countries. By year 3, our goal is to have 0.3%, $420 million revenue from 1 billion units. The 3 customer tiers lies in Tier 1, already using eco-packaging, lying at $94 billion, UC Berkeley, Google Cafeterias, Hospital, and they are frustrated. Current molded fiber takes 120 days to compose, costs 40% more than plastic fails with hot food, and Afterlife solves this all. Tier 2, refusing customers $82 billion to sweet green. Customers demand sustainability, but eco-packaging is expensive and performs poorly. Afterlife matches their price point, but performs like plastic. Tier 3 in the unexplored, $58 billion. Fast food chains wrapped in plastic because nothing met their bar until now. And Afterlife meets their bar. For the first time, they do have a viable option. And of course, how does Afterlife actually work? And can it really be built? Okay, so we cultivate Pleurotherus mycelium on agriculture waste for 5 days and apply 80 degrees Celsius heat stress. This triggers cryptobiosis. Metabolism suspends like a seed waiting for rain. We seal it with a PLA coating that blocks moisture, warmth, and oxygen. And of course, the ideal scenario is that a coating breaks down in 7 days at 55 degrees Celsius. Mycelium reactivates within 48 hours to create cellulase and lignase enzymes. Here's a breakthrough. These enzymes don't discriminate. They digest cellulose and fiber leftover food simultaneously. Just toss the container with food scraps and mycelium processes both into humus in 30 days. In any other scenarios like trash or landfills, it will be totally safe. And in soil or ground, it also moisture and rises. Mycelium can partially activate it. It becomes compost where it falls, and of course, it's beneficial. For water, it also dissolves in 2 until 4 weeks. And burned, which is the worst case, it does not release styrene, benzene, or dioxins. The carcinogens styrofoam produces. Every pathway is safe, every outcome regenerative or vegan. We scale Afterlife without building factories. Instead, we partner with existing molded fiber manufacturers. They produce containers while we supply the dormant mycelium culture, integration protocol, and certification. Each unit sells wholesale at 42 cents. Production costs 18 cents, giving us a 24% margin, 57% per container. At that margin, we break even after 7.5 million units around month 18.
And currently, we have undergone an 8-month testing complete with my word school students and local mushroom farms for MC file dated 28 and 32 days and closing confirmed. The salary reactivation proven in 10 of 10 of trials. The next plan is in 6 months of FDA certification, 12 months of partnership, and month 18 launch. From my word school from rural area to $400 million in 3 years. Afterlife, even after death, it gives life. Thank you.